Hi everyone, this is Pawan and welcome to Technical Knowledge Family. I'm a data warehousing and business intelligence trainer and I train on Informatica, Teradata, Tableau, Unix and shell scripting. In today's video, we are going to learn awk command in Unix. There are a lot of students who ask me, Sir, awk command nahi samajh mein aa raha hai. We are getting confused in awk command. So let's clear our doubt as far as awk command is concerned and let's learn awk command in Unix. To learn any of the command in Unix, first of all you need to understand the syntax of that command. When the syntax is understood, then it is easy for you to learn any of the command in Unix, whether it's std, awk, grep, cut, sort, unique. So we'll be understanding the syntax of awk command, but before understanding the syntax of awk command, let's try to understand when to use awk command in Unix. Let's suppose when you have a column specific data in your file, you can use awk command to manipulate the data. Okay, let me show you the file first. See, in that file we have employee number, we have name, surname, gender, age, region, designation and the salary of that employee. Now if you observe, in that file the delimiter is pipe. Now what is a delimiter? A delimiter is which is segregating your column. Okay, this is the employee number and this is the name and this is the surname. So this delimiter symbol, this pipe symbol is segregating your column from one to other, right? So as I said you that when you have a column specific data in your file, you can use awk command to manipulate the data. Now let's try to learn the syntax of awk command. So what is the syntax of awk command? You need to give awk awk and then you have to specify the option. What is the option? There are multiple options available in awk command. Let's suppose for an example, -f is one of the options to specify your delimiter. As I told you that in our file the delimiter is pipe. Okay, so I have to specify pipe delimiter over here with a inverted quote, double inverted quote. Now after that, what is the syntax? I need to specify my selection criteria. Now in this example I have not given any selection criteria, but we'll be seeing a practical requirement where I'll be giving a selection criteria as well, right? After that you need to give an action. Now what action I want to perform? I want to perform a print action, and what I want to print? I want to print second column, third column and the sixth column. So to print the second column I need to give $2. To print the third column I need to give $3, and to print the sixth column I need to give $6. And this particular selection criteria and the action should be quoted into a single quote, and after that you need to specify the file name on which you want to perform that operation, right? So this is the basic syntax of awk command. If you really want to understand the awk command, the basic syntax should be clear, then it will be easy for you to learn awk command. So let's try to learn awk command with a practical requirement. What is our first requirement? The first requirement is I want to print second, third and sixth column of my file. Okay, let's jump upon to the putty. Putty is a terminal by which you can connect to your Unix server and you can manipulate the file. So this is the user interface of putty. Now I want to print the second, third and sixth column of my file. So I have my commands ready. I'll just copy my commands and I'll paste over here. Okay, so what we are doing over here, awk -f, the delimiter is pipe. I'm printing second, third and sixth column of my file and my file name is employee.txt. You can see the file, that file is available in my Unix server. Alright, let's press enter and see, I can see the first, second and the sixth column of my file. Alright, now let's see the second requirement. What is our second requirement? The second requirement is I want to print third line to 10th line. Okay, in my file, let me show you. Let me first take a listing of the file, and in the employee.txt file, how many number of rows I have. If I want to see the number of rows in my file, press wc-l and the name of the file. I have 4016 records available or 4016 line available in my employee.txt file. Alright, but my requirement is I only want to print from 3rd line to 10th line. to print from a specific line, you have a inbuilt variable called nr. What is nr? nr is a line number. So what will be the command? awk -f, my delimiter nr is equals to 3, comma nr is equals to 10. It will print from 3rd line to 10th line, and it will print 2nd, 3rd and 6th column. So let us run this command in Unix. nr is equal to 3 and nr is equal to 10. So I can only see the records from 3rd line to 10th line. If you want to see the file, I can show you the file as well in vi editor. Just give vi command and give the file name. You can see all the column or all the data available in your Unix server. If I want to see the line number as well, then what will be the command? Press escape colon set nu, then you can see the line numbers. And if you want to go to the last of the line, just press escape and press shift G. You can see there are 4016 record. Now the last line is blank. If I want to delete that line, you just have to press DD. So the last line will be deleted. If I want to save this file, press escape key colon and WQ. WQ is for save and quit. Now my file is saved. So this was my second requirement, where I wanted to print from 3rd line to 10th line, and specifically I want to print the column 2nd, 3rd and 6th. Now let's try to understand the third requirement. What is my third requirement? The third requirement is I want to print only those records who are having 8 column. What do I mean by 8 column? I have a file. In that file I am having 8 column as well, 9 column as well, 10 column as well, and more than 10 column as well. So it's kind of a good file and a bad file. So my requirement is very straightforward. I only want to print those records who are having only 8 column. The number of columns should be 8 only. So for that, in awk command we have a specific inbuilt variable nf. What is nf? Nf is called number of field. So if I want the specific number of fields should be there in my file, so I'll be using nf inbuilt variable. So what will be the command? The command will be awk -f, of course my delimiter, then inverted quote, nf is equal to 8. That means it will check who all are the records who are having only 8 column and then print. If I only specify the print command, that means it will print all the columns. Okay, not specifically 3rd column or 2nd column. And then I have to specify my file name, and then I can redirect my file, or I can redirect my output to a good file. Good file is nothing but a name of the file. Similarly, I wanted to check how many records are there in which the number of columns should be greater than 8. Okay, so similar way I can use that command awk -f, my delimiter nf greater than 8. That means number of fields should be greater than 8, and of course the print command, my action, so it will print all the column. File name, and I can redirect that output into a bat file. Bat file is nothing but a name of the file. Okay. So let's try to run this command. Take a listing of here. Now I only want to see the records which are having 8 column. So I can run this command. In this command nf is equal to 8. Okay, so I have redirected my output to a good file. Now take a listing of the file with the command ls-lrt. You can see a good file over here. Now how I will verify that in my good file the records which I am having, those are having only 8 column. So what you can do is you can just check the line numbers of the previous file. This was my file. wc-l command is used to take the line number of that file. So in my employee more column file I have 4048 number of records, and let's take a count of good file, and here I am having 4015 number of records. So 4015 is the number of records which are having only 8 column. My next requirement was that I wanted to print all the records who are having more than 8 columns, right? So I can do the similar task with my awk command. What will be the syntax? awk -f, of course the delimiter. Here you have to give nf is greater than 8, so the number of fields which are greater than 8, it will print all the column for that particular file, and I am redirecting my output to a bat file. Just press enter and take a listing. Bat file is available. Now how I will cross verify? Just by taking the line numbers wc-l and the file name. So there are 31 records which are having columns more than 8, right? Now let's see what is our next requirement. My requirement is that I want to see only some specific data. In my file I am having multiple records which are having data related to HR, director, chairman, manager, but I only want to see the data related to HR. I can achieve this task with pattern matching. So this particular syntax is called as a pattern matching. So what is the command? awk -f, the delimiter is of course pipe. In my third column I am having data related to a particular designations like HR, director. So I only want to see the data related to HR. So the syntax will be $3 and this tilde symbol, and then in the slash, this is called context addressing. I have to address that particular pattern with /, that particular pattern, that is HR, and then again a /, right? And then of course my action is print and then the file name. So let's run this command to see the data only related to HR. First let me show you the file itself. You can see that we are having multiple designation data like manager, HR, director. So we have multiple designation of data, but it's a very practical requirement that I only wanted to see the data related to any specific designation, right? So let's run this pattern matching syntax over here. In my file the designation is given in the 7th column, so that is why we have given $7 is equals to, or this particular tilde symbol, to that particular pattern. Alright, see, I am only getting the data related to HR only, and if you want to redirect your output, you need to run the same command and you can redirect that output to a particular file called HR. So in that way you can understand, okay, in this file we are only having data related to HR only. Let's redirect the output to HR file and let's take a listing with ls-lrt command, and I have a file called HR. Let's take a count with the wc command, wc-l and HR. I have 1049 records with respect to HR. Let's try to understand the next practical requirement. These all are the practical requirements which you will be using in your project. My 5th requirement is I want to see the records who are having salary greater than 10,000. Okay, we have multiple employees in a file which are having multiple salaries, which are having different salaries. So I only wanted to see the records which are having greater than 10,000 salary. How we can achieve this task? We can achieve this task with number comparison. How we can do number comparison? The syntax will be awk -f pipe, the delimiter of course, $6. In my 6th column I have salaried, so it will be $6 greater than 10,000, and after that my action is print and then file name. Let's run this command. In my file the salary is given in the 8th column, so here that is why we have given as $8. Copy this command and run over here. I hope the syntax is quite clear. $8 should be greater than 10,000, so it will only be giving you the employees who are having salary greater than 10,000. Let's run this command. Okay, I have redirected my output to a file called salary.txt. Let's take a listing. Salary.txt is here. You can view that file. In this, all the employees, you can see only the employees who are having salary greater than 10,000. Okay, if you want to see the number of records, I can show you. You need to run a command called escape set nu in the VI editor itself to get the line number. And if you want to go to the last line of your file, then you need to press Shift G. There are 3379 records which are having salary greater than 10,000. Alright, if you want to quit, press escape and then colon WQ. What is my next requirement? My next requirement is if I want to change the delimiter in my output file. It is a very practical requirement. I am a Teradata developer, and I can tell you that there is a team who is using your file. There is a downstream team who is using your file. You are using pipe as a delimiter in your file, but that downstream team have set up their code where they need the file as a comma delimiter. They don't want the file in a pipe delimited format. They want a file in a comma delimited format. Here we only have 3000 or 4000 records, but practically, let's suppose if you have 1 lakh record in your file, or you have 10 lakh records in your file, or 50 lakh records in your file, which is quite a very practical requirement in Teradata or in any of the databases. So one by one you cannot change a pipe to a comma. So it will be very useful that you run this command, you change your pipe delimiter to a comma delimiter in your output file, and your task will be done within just seconds. This is the power of Unix, or rather this is the power of awk command. Okay, for that, what is the syntax? The syntax will be OFS. What is OFS? OFS is a built-in variable. The full form of OFS is output field separator. In your file, you are using that OFS operator, okay, and you are specifying that particular delimiter with a comma. So your output will be saved with a comma only. Alright, let's run this command. Okay, awk-f delimiter. Then you have to open your single quote. Inside the curly braces, you have to specify your output field separator. My output field separator is a comma, and I need to print $1, $2, $3 and $4. Only these 4 columns. One thing you have to keep in mind when you are using your OFS operator, that if you are using OFS operator, then you have to specify each and every column like this. If you want to print all the column, then also you have to give $1, $2, $3 till $6, $7, $8, whatever your number of columns are. You cannot just give a print command. Your OFS will not work in this case. Okay, can you see the output? The output is coming in my terminal in the comma delimited way. Okay, just take a listing. I can redirect my output into a file so that I can send that file to my downstream team so that they can process the data. Now I can give any name to my file. Let's say the output file name is downstream.txt. Okay, now my output is saved into a file which is naming downstream.txt. Let's take a listing with ls-lrt command, and I can see the downstream.txt. If I open that file inside the VI editor, I am having my data with a comma separator, with a comma delimiter. But originally in my file, the delimiter was pipe. What is my next requirement? Okay, next is not a requirement, but next is an advantage with awk command. What is the advantage with awk command? As I told you, awk is the most powerful command in Unix which can save your lot of time. The task which you can achieve with hours and hours with awk command in Unix, it can be achievable within seconds and minutes. So let's suppose in my file, instead of a pipe delimiter, I have a delimiter with pipe, tilde and pipe. So it's a multi-character delimiter. So awk has a power to handle a file which is having multi-character delimiter. Let me show you the file itself. This is the file we are having, where my first column is employee number, then name, then surname, then gender, then age, region, designation and salary. But each and every record is separated with a delimiter called pipe, tilde and pipe. Okay, it is called as multi-character delimiter. Instead of pipe, a tilde pipe, there can be any multi-character delimiter, right? So how we can handle these kind of situation? These kind of situation will not be handled by cut command. Cut can only handle a single character delimiter. It's not possible in cut command, but it's very easy and possible with awk command. You can handle multi-character delimiter with the help of awk command. Let's try to run this command. If I want to see my data, if that file is having multi-character delimiter, but to specify that delimiter, you have to use these brackets. Let us run this command. So what is the syntax? Awk -f. Inside my code, I have given a bracket. Inside the bracket, you have to specify your multi-character delimiter. Do not forget to give that bracket. I'm using a bash shell, so here I need to specify this particular bracket. Sometimes it works without the bracket as well. So you need to check which kind of shell you are using. Sometimes it works without the bracket as well, and sometimes it works with the bracket. So it depends on the shell, which shell you are using, right? Now let me just print and see. You can see your data on your terminal. Similar is the case if you want to redirect your output into a particular file. You can just run this particular command, redirect your output into any of the file like Teradata file, and then you can press enter. Now take a listing. You have a Teradata file. You can see that file with the VI editor and see your multi-character delimiter file is there. Alright. So I hope you understood the awk command is the most powerful command in Unix. You can manipulate your data the way you want with multi-character delimiter. If you want to see only the 8 column, if you want to see more than 8 column, if you want to see any specific data like for HR director, or if you have a particular requirement that the salary should be greater than 10,000 or less than 10,000, in those kind of scenarios you can use awk command, which can save your time. Alright, I hope you have learned awk command in this video. If you like the video, subscribe to our channel Technical Knowledge. Give me your feedback in the comment section. What do you like about this particular video, and on which topic you want me to record the video. In the next video, we will be learning sed command, which is also known as set command, one of the most powerful command in Unix. Till then, stay safe, be happy, keep smiling, keep learning. Until we meet again, this is Pawan signing off.